about how I, as an individual, how I, as a business owner here in Lagos, Nigeria, adopt healthy financial habit, you know, as a growing business founder here in Nigeria. And I would like to start with the smart savings approach. I tagged it the smart savings approach. When a purpose of a thing isn't known, abuse is inevitable. I believe a lot of us has heard that statement before. When a purpose of something is not known, abuse is inevitable. In my last event, I asked my audience, I said, why did you go into the business that you're in? Many of us were in business because, you know, we don't want to be broke. Many of us were in business because we don't want to be idle. Many of us were in business because my friend is in business. I also want to go into business, without understanding what business entails. But I would also like you to understand tonight that the primary reason of, business whatsoever is profit making. The primary reason for, going into business, for starting a business, is for profit making. And when you do not know, the reason, for establishing a business, abuse in terms of spending will be inevitable. And that takes us to the smart saving approach. When the year starts, we all have goals for the year, and many authors, they've also spoken about the smart approach. But I tagged mine the smart savings approach. And my S, I'll be starting from my S. It says specific. When we are saving, it's very important as business owners, not just as business owners, any individual, if you must have an healthy financial life, you must learn the habit of saving and investment. If you must have a healthy financial life, you must learn the habit of saving and also investment. You must learn how to save, you must learn how to invest. All right. And the smart saving approach for me is a very, very good roadmap for me to navigate, savings and investment. And the essay is specific. I'm saving because I have a specific reason. I'm not saving because every author is saying save. I'm not saving because every speaker is saying save. I'm not saving because my friend is saving. I'm saving because I have a specific reason for saving. And I told my audience the last time I spoke, I said, when choosing a specific reason, it has to be a relevant reason. Tonight's lecture is not about, we calculating. We're going into, theoretical aspect of money. All right. So I would like you to, have your pen and your jotters, right beside you. You are saving for a specific reason, and it has to be a relevant reason. And that's the R in the SMART. Don't save because everybody is saving. Save because you have a specific reason for saving. I, for one, I have a project before the end of Q2, and I started a savings plan, because of that particular facility that I'm saving towards. All right, that is a very specific reason. And because it is specific, I cannot just wake up one morning and pick money in my savings and go and buy something impulsive, because I know that I have to get this particular thing. All right, measurable. When you are saving, you must be able to track the progress of whatever thing you are saving. When you are saving, it has to be measurable. Take, for example, you want to save 2,000 USD dollars before the end of Q2. And currently you have 4,000 USD dollars. I would not advise that you take 2,000 out of the 4,000 USD dollars to save. Why? Because you have responsibility. You would have needs, you have wants. All right. You have, transactions to do. All right. It is important that you break your savings into bits. Say, for example, you want to save daily, you want to save weekly, you want to save monthly, you want to save quarterly, and probably you want to save yearly. And sometimes you might even want to, save what's then is in decades. All right. You have to measure your savings. Why? Because you do not want to be overwhelmed. All right. You don't want to lock a whole 2,000 USD dollars out of 4,000 USD dollars in fixed assets for say for like 2 years, and you're unable to access your money. You have money, you are rich, but you cannot access it. You would be frustrated. And that's the essence of, measuring, your savings, cutting it bit by bit to save because of, your responsibilities over the week, over the month, and even over the year. Attainable. Whenever you make up your mind that you are going to save a certain amount of money, don't deceive yourself. This is between you and your finance. This is between you and your inflow. Don't say because you want to have an healthy financial life and you're saying, oh, in my journal, I want to save 100 million naira. You have to look at your books. What am I doing to get me 100 million naira? When setting a financial goal, you also have to look at your inflow. You have to look at the nature of your job, the nature of your business. And it has to be realistic. So basically, attainable means realistic. Any goal, any financial goal that is not realistic, I do not think you should put it in your goal. At the end of the year, when you are
Sorry to
reviewing your
interrupt you.
goal.
Can you share your screen? I think I've given you access now. If you
Okay,
can
sir.
check.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Please hold on. I'm trying to navigate it. I'm not currently using my PC. I'm using my phone. Is there a way I can navigate it in the comments? Can someone please help me with that?
Send to me. Let me see if I'm able to help you with that.
All right. Thank
So
you so much,
if
sir.
with your PC, with your phone, you should be able to click share screen.
Yes, I should, but then I'm not seeing it on my screen.
Okay. Insika, are you connected to your system so you can help our project? Please, everyone, give us some minutes. I want you guys to have a visual illustration of what she's explaining, so it's easy for you to recall. All right, please share with uh, class captain, Insika, so
All
she'll
right.
help you share.
Right away. Thank you, sir. All right.
While we're trying to do that, you can go ahead now.
All right. Thank you so much. Insika, please check your message. Please, can we hear me? If you can hear me, can you please raise your digital hand? Thank you. This is going to be a very interactive class. I wish I could share my screen myself and also share my face. Maybe it would be more interactive, but not to worry. I'll try to make the class, less boring because I feel like sometimes I always teach like a lecturer. All right. But please just pay attention to the point, and I believe you're going to learn something in the class today. All right. I said set realistic goals that are attainable. When you are saving for your business, say you want to, save to get an on-site space as a business owner, you have to be realistic when creating a budget for that particular project. If you want to get a space in, say, Lagos, Nigeria, to rent a space of 5 million naira per year, per annum, and your inflow per month in terms of profit, I mean revenue, is about 100,000. Let's be realistic. You cannot save 5 million naira for rent. You can't save 5 million naira for rent because out of that 100,000 naira, we have other costs that is going to, be deduced from that particular profit that you have earned that month. So when making a financial choice, ensure that it is something that you can attain, it's something that you can achieve without robbing the bank, without, feeling so overwhelmed, without, you know, because at the end of the day, you don't want a situation whereby you are working, you're making money, but then it's not showing. All right. I've already spoken on relevant. I told my audience the last time, at this point of our lives as business owner, I'm not saying don't save for a a game set, say a PS5 as a man. I'm not saying don't save for air, but save for something relevant. For those of us that have online stores, we should be thinking saving for an on-site store. For those of us that have on-site store, we should be thinking of expanding to other branches. This is relevant investment and saving. We should be thinking of buying shares, of buying stocks. We should be thinking of investing in real estate. We should be thinking of, investing in people's businesses to earn returns on them. So anytime that you are saving or you are investing, any decision that you are making, either savings or investment, you have to ensure that it is relevant. And time bound. I've touched on this again. Ensure that you can track your financial, investment. Ensure that you can track it. Don't save this week, next week, you use your money to eat parfait and banana bread. No, ensure that your saving is not a careless one. Ensure that you are saving. If it's per week, save per week. If you're saving per month, save per month. If you're saving daily, save daily. Don't save carelessly. Don't save recklessly. It has to be orderly. That's what the smart savings approach is. So I said the S is specific, the M is measurable, the A is attainable, and the R relevant, and T time bound. All right. Time bound, ensure that it is organized. If you are saving weekly, ensure that it is weekly. If you are saving monthly, ensure that you are saving monthly. If you are saving, quarterly, ensure that it is quarterly. And ensure that, you don't default. All right, so I'll be moving to benefit of having a budget as a business owner. Many of us, we go into business carelessly. We make profit, we earn well, but at the end of the day, you cannot trace your revenue in a month. If I ask some business owner on the call today, how much do you make per month? Many of us cannot give estimate of how much we make per month. And that's because we do not use budget. We do not have a budget. We just go to, our supplier to supply us whatever product that we sell. We go ahead to sell, we make profits, and that is it. That is a careless way of running a business as a business owner. It's a very careless way. That way, you most likely be growing in your business, but in terms of finances, you are just there. The numbers are not numbering. The math is not going to math. All right. And the first reason why you must, have a budget as a business owner is for specific financial clarity. You have a budget, it's going to help you. It's a clear roadmap for whatever activity that is going on in your business. Take, for example, those that run an online store. You get to buy fuel, you get to service your generator, you get to pay your staff, you get to, many other overhead costs. All right. You have financial clarity on what you are spending your money on. Because many times you look at your bank statement, oh, I made 2 million naira this month. And at the end of the day, you're seeing 200,000. Where did the money go to? But if you have a budget, it's going to give you financial clarity on your expenses and your income. I don't know if that made sense. If you have a budget as a business owner, you're going to have financial clarity on your income and your expenditure. That's number one. Number two, cost control. If you have a budget, you would definitely have, say, for example, your limit for the month is 2 million naira in terms of cost, apart from cost price. I mean, overhead cost and any other cost in the business. If your budget for any expense in the business within the course of the month is 200,000 naira, you would definitely have what I call balance brought forward, because you would not be able to, buy everything that you want to buy. You would not be able to, have expenses as much as you are going to spend if you have a budget, because you are disciplined enough to know that I'm spending 20% of my profit on expenses. And so it helps you prioritize the important ones to the less important ones. I don't know if you understand. The essence of a budget, number two, cost control. It helps you prioritize what is important over what is less important. So, take for example, your shop has been over a year and you want to renovate the shop, and you check other expenses, staff salary, you have to pay the driver, logistics, administration, different costs are already in the budget, and you have already exceeded your expenses for that month because you have a budget that is keeping you in track. You will definitely have what I said is called balance brought forward, expenses brought forward. That is, you're going to bring it forward to the next month. Why? Because you can't go beyond the budget that you have set for yourself that month. And so renovating your store is less important to any cost that is supposed to run the affairs of the business. I don't know if I'm communicating to someone in the room. Number three, increased efficiency. When you have a budget, there is no how it's going to promote the efficiency of the use of how you use money. When you have a budget, you already know for the month of, in fact, your budget is like literally like the same thing for every month, same percentage. Of course, I know that there is inflation, persistent increase in the prices of things. But if you have, a particular percentage that you are working with as a business owner in your budget, regardless of inflation, regardless of increase in price in the value of things that you buy for your business is actually going to run well. And number five, I believe my numbering is correct. Better decision making. You cannot see something that is less of a priority over something that is of higher priority and go for the one that is less. That's the essence of budgeting. You get to look at every of your expenses, for that month, and you get to make a very good decision that this one comes first before this. And that's a very good example is what I made, renovating your store over overhead costs. So definitely you want your business to run well. You cannot say because you want to, renovate your store and there is no light for someone that probably runs a chicken business, for example. You have a cold room, you sell cold stuffs and all of that. You can't prioritize, renovating your store at the expense of, making your product cold in the fridge, because your products are going to spoil. So whatever it takes for you to fuel the generator, buy lights, just ensure that you have everything running for the business to run effectively and efficiently. You're going to prioritize that over renovating the store. The next on my list is reduce stress. When you have a budget, I promise you would not be overwhelmed. Why? Because you have made better decisions in terms of, activities that are in terms of financial activities in the business. So nothing is stressing you. So your accountant comes and say, oh, we need money for this, we need money for that. You're like, please don't stress me, follow the budget. And there's what we call opportunity cost in economics, right? You have to have a list of priority. And when you have a list of priority, it just makes you have good decision making and less of stress. That your accountant cannot stress you because there is a budget that we are following. All right, next on my list is improved cash flow. when you have a budget as a business owner, you would notice that you are making more profit. Money is coming in because you have financial discipline. Because before you had a budget, I think somebody can use this. Okay, thank you so much, Insikak. I think somebody can use this scenario in their business, especially for someone that has never worked with a budget before. You are making money, right? But at the end of the day, you cannot account for the money that you are making. And now you have a budget. You would notice that your inflow at the end of the month will be much compared to when you did not use a budget. Why? Because of wise financial decision. So you get to even have increased cash flow, enough cash flow, because of better decision making in terms of, expenses. And the last on my list is accountability. We currently have a customer in the bank. She took we call loans risk asset. So she took loan of, I think, over 500 million naira, and not just from my bank. She took from over like 5 banks. And when we went ahead to check what she used the money for, it was for Ashoebi, gold jewelries, traveling, just irrelevant. And she had a very big business for the bank to loan you about 500 million naira. Now, the interest that has grown on it is over 1 billion naira. And the last time they went to EFCC for this particular case, about 5 banks were there. The only reason why somebody will enter into such debt is because of lack of budgeting. Because if you have budgeting, you'll be able to account for your spending. Because you cannot have a business and you're telling me that in your budget you're putting, I want to buy a wig. That's personal budgeting, not your business. Don't mix business and pleasure together. Don't mix your personal life and your business together. So, when you have a budget, you are accountable. You would not even have the mind to say, I want to buy a new car for myself. I want to change my car and put it inside my business budget. That's the essence of accountability, really, because many of us on the call that are business owners, and I've been guilty. We can just take money in our business purse and just go and buy something personal. And the only reason why you have the mind to do that is because you are not accountable to anybody. And you can be accountable to yourself with the use of a budget. So if you do not have a budget in the house as a business owner, I'm encouraging you to go back to your drawing board. This is the beginning of Q2. You can start, creating something for your business. And you can do the math from Q2 to Q1, and you're going to see a difference in your, numbers. All right. Prerequisite for financial sustainability. I always tell people, if your business is going to remain, right, you also have to, I think I heard this statement from Pastor Daniel Olawande P. Daniel. He told me personally, the very first time I went to Envoys BI, he said, do not despise your days of little beginning. As a business owner, do not despise the days of small sums. Don't say because I made 10,000 naira in profit today instead of the 200,000 I used to make, in a day, then you go and pick that 10,000 naira to buy ice cream. No. If you are not faithful in small numbers, you will obviously not be faithful in bigger numbers. So in my note, I said, do not despise small sums, just as you will not overlook larger sums. If you notice, when you have like a million naira, if somebody should give to you a million naira, you do not want that money to, turn to 999,000. I don't know if there's anybody in the room. Like, you just want that 1 million naira to be there. So if you are not going to despise larger sums as a business owner, in terms of profit, do not despise small sum. As you're making 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, ensure that you are keeping it in your books. And ensure that at the end of the month, your books are balanced. So you're not saying, this week I make 300,000 naira, you're excited, you put it in your bank, it's okay. But the day you make 10,000 naira, we're like, oh, Pamela Freya, you tell your office assistant, Pamela Freya ice cream. No. Because at the end of the day, if you call an auditor to come and audit your business, to come and audit your financials, the equation will not be balanced. The balance sheet will never balance. And that's the essence of you not despising small sums. In business, you are going to have days that you are going to sell well. There are days that you are not going to sell at all. There are days that you are going to sell, little. So you have to be encouraged not to despise what? Small sums. Number 2, how you manage little funds determines if you are ready for larger sums. Pastor Success Yomi-Omolayo put up a video on Instagram. By the way, if you're not following, I think you should follow her because she puts out content on faith, family, finance, and ministry as well. She said a mentee of her had an opportunity to have, I think, 50 million naira project or so, but he lost it because he was not prepared for that particular capacity. As a business owner, why are you still running a personal business account? A personal business account is going to help you manage small funds, at most 5 million naira. How you manage little funds determine if you are ready for larger sums. Your capacity in terms of finances determines if you are ready to, move to a larger scale in your business. Because an international investor from another country will not want to invest in millions of naira in an account that cannot take 15 million naira. So if you are comfortable in receiving little funding for your business, if you are comfortable in receiving little profit in your business, you are obviously not ready for larger sums. Because as a business owner, you can start small, but do not remain small. Because though your beginning may be small, right? Your later end will greatly increase. So now you are starting small as a business owner. You are definitely going to, expand at some point. So as you are growing in capacity in terms of getting a bigger space, as you are growing in capacity from transitioning from an online vendor to an on-site vendor, you also have to, increase your financial capacity to receive larger sum of income into your account. So many of us, it's time for us to, move from a personal account to a business account. Now, understand that some fintech companies in Nigeria are, overcoming some commercial banks. Talk about OPay, talk about Money Point. But it's also important for you to also open a commercial business account. Why? Because some business, not all, some business thrive with loans. Because of the large sum that you have done, banks are willing to, also give you larger sum. I have a customer at the moment that, we're trying to work on a facility for him, which is about 4.9 billion naira, not million, 4.9 billion naira. And the only reason why we're going to give him that amount of money is because of the capacity that he has in terms of his financials. We went through his financials and the bank is, at rest to give him that amount of money. Not every business will, use loan to thrive. But if you know that you are a business owner that is into agriculture and you want to expand, you will most likely be needing funding. And so take, for example, somebody even wants to even bless you with 50 million naira, but your accounts cannot receive it. I think that's bad. All right. Number 3, build up systems that make money come in more consistently than it goes out. As a business owner, you don't want to keep having expenses in your balance sheet, and your income, is not equal. You have to build up a system that makes money comes in more consistently than it goes out. And I'll use myself as an example. Apart from the fact that I have a 9-to-5 job that is paying me monthly, I have a business at the side that is also giving me extra funds. And now I'm taking my speaking engagements more seriously, where I will be paid. So if I'm someone that I always have expenses, I have to come up with a system that would make money come in consistently for me than it's going out. Because if you check my financial health, if my expenses is more than my income, then financially I am not healthy. If my expenditure is greater than my income as a business owner, then financially I am not healthy. So many of us, you need to check your financial health. Am I healthy as a business owner? All right. Focus on building one strong pillar before diversifying. I've heard so many speakers say, have multiple streams of income, have multiple, I understand it, right? They're talking from experience because they also have multiple streams of income. But if you as a business owner, you've not gotten your feet in a particular business that you run, I would not advise you to diversify when your leg is still shaking in the particular business that you're currently running. Because it takes money to build a business. So if there's somebody in the room that is saying, I sell, what can I use as an example? I sell bags, right? I want to go into selling makeup products. You need to ask yourself, am I all right? Because even the bags that you are selling, how much are you making in the bags? Are you spending more to sustain that business than you are earning? So I would just advise, focus on building a strong pillar before diversifying. That out of the business that you're doing, it's big enough to fund the new business. All right, to my next subheading, 7 things you must do if you want to build wealth. 7 things you must do if you want to build wealth. The essence of having events like this, the essence of having conversations like this, the essence of being a part of meetings like this is that you keep hearing the Bible says faith comes by hearing, and hearing the word of God alone. We hear the word, but the only reason why you're going to stay in faith is by consistently hearing that word. So if all I'm saying is something you've heard before, I believe it should be a drive for you to shift something in your business, because you have to keep hearing something constantly before you can shake something, before you can shift something. So I would not like you to say, I've heard this 1,000 times, I know this already. Just pay attention and just move with me. All right. 7 things you must do if you want to build wealth. The first thing I'm going to say is you have to grow your network. And I think that statement in itself, in this time and age, is not 100% correct. I think I need to correct myself here. Do not just grow network. You have to start building relationship, right? Don't go to an event to network, exchange cards, and not have anything in return that is valuable for the other person. You just want to receive from that person. No. As you are growing your network, you are building relationship, you want something from this person, you also have something to give that person. I started networking very well last year, and it's good. I believe it helped me, open doors for me as well at some point in my life. But it did not just stop there. I had to start consciously, growing my relationship with people, because men are also portals, for you to also experience a major shift. It might be even, maritally, it might be financially, it might be in your business. One person can just say, I know this person. Can you help out with funding? Without, the person having to experience ROI from the funding that they gave you, from the money that they gave you. It can just be a word of trust. That I know this person, put this person in this seat of authority. I know this person. You can partner with this person. I know this person. Give this person this amount of goods. I know she would pay back. When I heard the story of the founder of First City Monument Bank, he was able to build a relationship with someone that gave him the access to have a license to start a bank. Nobody would give you an access to have a license to start a bank if you've probably not given value in return. So, like I said, my class today is not the practical aspect of money. We're not here to do X minus Y, No, we're not here to calculate money. We're here to, deliberate on the theoretical aspect of money. Because until we understand this, we'll keep making, the same mistake over and over and over and over and over again. And we're going to keep having the same, revenue for like a decade. So I said, grow your network, build relationship with professionals. I was telling myself that I had to be very, very deliberate in having friends in law firms, friends in banking industry, firms in entertainment, friends in, medical industry. Everybody, you just need somebody. Because at the end of the day, your network today will be your children's connection tomorrow. Like, you're just going to place a call to one of your friends that, my child is into this particular business. I need you to invest in the business. And that's how your child is also going to grow in terms of finances. Number 2, invest in yourself. Deliberately, I started taking courses. I started paying for courses. When I was writing my goal for the year, educational goal was there, that I have to, add certain certifications to what I already have. Because there are certain doors that would not open for you. And, if those doors do not open for you, you most likely still remain at the level that you are financially if you do not invest in yourself. So it's time for you to start investing in courses. It's time for you to, invest in having a mentor. Many people do not buy the idea of having a mentor. I buy the idea of having a mentor. I have a spiritual mentor. I have a business mentor. I have a mentor in my industry that I'm in at the moment. And every information for me is not a waste. I'm putting it together to also make money for myself. And the third on my list is pay yourself first. My last event, people were surprised when I said you need to pay yourself as a business owner. You want to be wealthy. You're investing in the business. You're pumping money into the business, but you're not paying yourself salary. Why? And I prayed a prayer in Yoruba. I said, because the someone that is alive that will run a business. So it is very important that you pay yourself salary. So out of 100% revenue that you have in your business, out of 100% profit that you make, you must have a percentage that is going into CEO salary. The same way you're going to pay your staffs, the same way you're going to pay your dispatch rider, the same way you're going to pay, for security, for those that have on-site store, the same way you're going to pay your operations staff, your administrative staff. Why is CEO not earning a salary? You are also entitled to a paycheck. And you can make it more beautiful that at the end of the day, you can automate your paycheck. Right? As every other person is being paid in the business, ensure that you, as the founder, you are also entitled to a paycheck. You must collect a paycheck. Until then, you will stop seeing your business as, a small business. You are growing as well. You're putting structure in place. As your staffs are earning, I know that you are the one pumping in money. You're also, earning a salary. I know a lady who has a business here in Nigeria. She said if she borrows her business money, because it's in the book, right? She would collect her money back. And she's the owner of the business. And that's simple structure in terms of managing your finances in the business. You're not mixing your personal life with your business life. I love my money so much. My business is not me. Dove is different from Tabitha. And I don't joke with my money. So if I invest my money in Dove, for example, say we didn't make so much profit and we need to get some things for the business. And I said, okay, let me borrow the business money. I'm going to collect my money back when we make the money back. And that's the essence of having, documenting anything that you are doing in the business. And the next on my list is control your spending. If you must be wealthy, you must not buy everything. If you must be wealthy, you must not spend more than you earn. You have to control whatever you want to buy. This man on Instagram, Trudy, he said he used this car for 10 years. But of course, he had investment, he had properties, he had money, he had money. If it's not important, please do not buy it. There's so many things that I want to buy that I believe I can afford now, but I can't touch it because I feel like it's foolish financial decision for me to make such decision, taking money to buy certain things. Avoid impulse buy. Don't buy impulsively as a business owner. I know you're making the money. You started making millions. You made your first 1 million naira in the business. You're excited. You made great sales like never before. That's not the time for you to go to Lola Express to go and place sale of 2 point something million naira. That's wrong timing and foolish decision in terms of finances. All right. We're talking about budget. Create a budget. Like I said, always have a budget. It just keeps you in track. And it also helps you monitor your activity financially as a business owner. Automate your money. It is very important. Automate your money. At the end of the month, when I receive my paycheck, there's a particular amount that is always remaining in my account. Why? Because I've already automated my money. My money is going to different channels. I've automated it. So whether I like it or not, the money has gone. The one that is going into savings is going, the one that is going into investment is going, the one that is going into anything is going, giving is going, right? And that's because I automated it. Until you automate your savings, you'll most likely not have the discipline to save. I don't know if you got that. Until you automate your savings, you'll most likely not have the discipline to save because the money is there now. It's not locked. You can just go and take it, can't take it, can't take it. And at the end of the day, you have nothing. But I think one thing that can help us as people that are not disciplined financially or probably in any other aspect of our lives is to automate your money. All right. The last but not the least on this particular headline is have an emergency fund. I don't pray for emergencies. And please mind you, take notes. Emergencies do not have to be negative. All right. You can also have positive emergencies. Take, for example, you buy for someone who sells hair, you buy from your supplier 10,000 USD dollars, and your supplier is doing sales and it says this particular volume that you buy for 10,000 USD dollars, come and take it for 4,000 USD dollars. And you're like, yay, I don't have money saved somewhere. When you're looking for to borrow you money. No. So it's very important as a business owner, have money saved up for emergency. It helps the business a lot because whether you like it or not, your business will always have a need, all right, that you might not even be able to afford, that this is where you're going to get your money from. I was listening to Financial Jennifer a couple of days back, and she said a landlord had increased rent, I think by 100%. And not because she could not afford it, but she's like, let's say she does not have an emergency fund. Where will she get the money from? Because the landlord did not give her prior, notice that he was going to increase the rent. So he just gave a notice. I'm increasing my rent, pay or you move out. You cannot afford it, you move out. If you can afford it, you pay it. So now take, for example, someone that does not have an emergency fund somewhere. All right. The next on my list is platform for investment. So I think I've been speaking more on savings. Savings is good, but investment is much more better. Saving and investment is good, but investment is much more better. I think I'm rounding off. And I need I say that finance needs to be fun to you. If your savings and investment journey isn't fun, you will most likely not commit to it. I'll take that again. If you are saving and you're investing just because you said you should invest, you should save, you most likely not commit to it. Like, you will most likely not commit to it. And I like the idea of investment because of the interest that comes on it, the returns that comes on it. And it just makes it so exciting, right? And I would like to use PiggyVest as an example. If you lock a million naira, for example, in PiggyVest, they would give you 200% of that particular value that you invested, say 209,000 naira. And now they're not giving you as compound interest, they're giving you as upfront payment. So imagine I lock in a million naira and they just credit my account with 209,000 naira free of charge. Isn't that fun? It's fun, right? So you have to start seeing, saving and investment as fun. Saving and investment is a fun, engaging challenge. All right. That I saved this and I got this amount of money. I think I want to also put this. If I save 2 million naira, for example, they're going to give me about 230,000 naira upfront payment. I mean, it's a really, really fun, engaging challenge. All right. And the feeling of winning is very contagious. The feeling of making money is so contagious. And I feel like it's also healthy. Like when you have money in your account, money that you do not work for, I mean, it's so, 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 so contagious. All right. You have to make investment your saving goal. Your financial goal is to save and also to invest. But your investment goal has to be you saving. All right. It does not matter how much you save as a business owner, honestly. It doesn't matter how much you save, but ensure that as much as you are earning, you are saving. And one mistake that people make is that they are earning less and they are saving more. I would not encourage that. If as a business owner you earn 200,000 naira in profit monthly, and you already said to yourself that you're going to be saving 70% of that particular value, ensure, and that's the essence of having percentage when it comes to saving, ensure that it's 70%. Don't have it in mind that 200,000 I'm making, I have to save 100,000. No. Ensure that you're working with percentage, because there would always be inflation, like I said earlier, and business will not always be beautiful. I hope it's beautiful for you, but most of the time it will not always be beautiful. So work with percentage when you are saving. So the more you earn, the more you save. The less you earn, the less you save. And that way, it is not overwhelming for you. All right. The essence of investment basically is to ensure that your money is working for you. I like the idea of my idle funds working for me. Many of us, we have idle funds in the bank. The money is just there. We have 500,000, we have a millionaire, we have 10 millionaire, we have 5 billionaire, just there. And at the end of the month, the bank is removing its charges, COT, and the likes. When you can, literally invest that particular value and earn returns on it. All right. So for anyone who has idle funds on the call, please be encouraged to invest it and earn interest on every of your idle funds. It is very important that you also earn interest on every of your idle funds. I earn interest on my money, right? Because I've come to understand that, if I put this particular money here, I get to, earn this and this amount when I invest this and this amount. And I think it's beautiful. All right. If you want your money to work for you, if you want to beat inflation, if you want your asset to appreciate, you have to invest. All right. And the only way your money can work for you when your funds are idle, is when you tie it up in an asset class that increase the value of your income over time. All right. Let me say that again. The only way your money can work for you, is when your idle funds are tied up in any asset class. It could be real estate, it could be gold. Funny enough, it could be gold. I really do not know so much about oil and gas, but I know that you can also have returns from that particular industry. But please and please do not invest in any industry that you do not have a very good knowledge on. Do not invest in any financial security that you do not have any knowledge on. many times people say, oh, invest in stocks, invest in bonds, invest in treasury bills, invest in governments, whatever, whatever. If you do not have a clear understanding of what these things are, please do not invest in it. I said this in my last event. I said the very first time Piggyverse came, I put my money there, and I think it was a lot. I can't remember. But because I was unable to navigate the app at the time, if you know Piggyverse when it first of all came, it was so complicated. But because everybody was putting money in Piggyverse, I went ahead to also put my money in Piggyverse. And I was just like unable to, navigate my way around it. And I got tired and I left it there. And I think I'm going to re-download the app to, figure out like how I can get my money back. So I'm saying this to say that if you do not understand a certain market, any financial market, if you do not understand any financial security, if you do not understand, any investment whatsoever, even real estate, if you don't know how much or how soon rather a particular land is going to appreciate, please do not put your money in it. Don't take the risk of putting your money in something that you do not have, a very good knowledge on. All right. Like I said, the only way your money can work for you when you have idle funds is by tying it in classes of asset classes. It helps your money increase in value over time. But ensure that in any of these asset classes that you are investing your money in, you have good understanding of these asset classes. Don't put your money in a market that you don't understand. And that's why many times people that are into forex trading, most of them lose money and a few of them make money. The few that make money are those that understand the market well. They can literally predict when the market is going to be good and when the market is not going to be good. And you as a beginner, you as someone that is just trying to understand and navigate the market, you are also risking your money in that kind of market. I think is a risk that you shouldn't take. All right. And that's the essence of classes like this, for financial literacy and the likes. All right. Building wealth is not about the money that you are making, but it's about the money that you keep. All right. I'm still saying the same thing. Building wealth is not about the money that you are making, it's about the money that you keep. And everything bounces down to financial discipline. You have to be very, very disciplined in terms of saving and investing. All right. So I mentioned platforms to invest. I have Bamboo here. I have all of these apps on my phone that I use as well. Bamboo, if you need help with all of these apps, somebody also plugged me on these apps as well. And I believe he's on the call. I don't know if he's on the call. Bamboo apps, app, Optimus, Piggyverse, Talks, Treasury Bills, bonds. These are government, you know, bonds that you can invest in and you get to, earn interest on them at a particular time. All right. You're investing in bonds, stocks, treasury bills, and the likes. It's a collective interest that you also earn because a lot of people are coming together to put their resources, within a particular time period of time, and they get to earn interest at the duration of the time that they said they were going to invest in. All right. Does anybody have any question before we move ahead to our affirmation? Does anybody have any question? Because this is wisdom class, can we open our Bible to the book of Proverbs? Proverbs. And I believe we have majority of Christians on the call today. All right, Proverbs 13:11. Bible says, wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. I just want to encourage every business owner on the call today. I understand that you want to make money. I understand the pressure that you are facing, especially on social media. Your friends are making money. Yeah, you've been on this spot for a long time. You're still in 1 million naira for like, say 2 years, 3 years. You've not gone beyond that. You've not gone, above that. I just want to encourage you that wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. It might take time, but it will definitely happen. All right. It might take time, it will definitely happen. Just ensure that you are making money the right way. All right, you're making money the right way, and you're also keeping it the right way. Don't keep money for keeping sake. Keep money in a structured way. All right, ensure that you have percentages for how you keep money. I told them in my last event that I'm Christian, and one of my first outflow when I have an inflow is my tithes, and that's 10% of any inflow that I have. All right, and maybe 20% goes into my savings, 30% goes into investment, other percentages goes into any other aspect of my, expenses. But at the end of the day, my own template shouldn't be your own template of saving or investing, because our income is not the same. Do not be pressured to save and invest because of how your neighbor is saving or investing. And listen, my 10% might be, say for example, 100,000 naira in tithes. That's 1/10 of a million naira, and your 10% might be 10,000 naira. Just ensure that you are faithful. All right, he who is faithful in little, God is definitely going to entrust him with more. All right, don't say because this person is saving 100,000 naira, then you want to save 100,000 when you know that your total inflow for a month is, say, 200,000. And I believe the essence of using percentages is because our income will never be the same. All right, but when you're using percentages, I mean, everybody, at least if somebody says, how many percentage you save per month? Oh, I save 20%. And my 20% might be, say, 200,000, and yours might be 20,000, but you're saving. All right. One thing you do not want to do as a business owner or someone that is earning income is that you do not want to be found not saving. You want to ensure that you are saving constantly. All right. I have a question. First question is, you talked about not using your business money for personal use. What about those who are running businesses to feed? I mean, if the business is solely to survive, pay bills. Okay, let me answer this question. I also had this particular question in my last event. I didn't say your business revenue should not be used for personal use. I said when saving in a smart saving approach, when you're saving, it has to be relevant. All right. And I'm also going back to the salary. There's a part in, if you're a business owner, if you're earning salary, that's your personal income. So out of that, your salary, you can use your salary to do anything that you like. All right. You have every other cost that your business has taken from your revenue. And out of the cost is also salary to staff. And also, mind you, your staff earning salary is also their personal income. All right. So you also earning salary from your business is your personal money. And you can decide to use your money for anything. All right, you are not mixing your personal fund from business fund. You've already received your salary, and that automatically is your personal money. Because at the end of the day, you can't tell me that you are running a business just because you want to survive. I think that is a very, very, very bad statement in itself. That is, you are running a business not because of expansion, you're running a business not because of growth. You're running a business not because of, I think the word is just expansion and development, basically. All right. Don't just start a business because you want to eat. I know the basic reason for going into a business is profit making, right? And out of the profit that you make is also for you to sustain yourself, for sustainability. All right. But ensure that any business that you are building is for you to grow. You do not want to remain at the level that you are starting. All right, like I said, you can start small but don't remain small. And as you grow as a business, your finances will also increase, your statements will also increase, your books will also increase. And so your business is beyond feeding, because you will have more than enough to feed. But before you can get to this point as a business owner, you have to put certain structure in place. All right, and that's why I said pay yourself salary. I didn't say pay yourself salary for paying's sake. Of course, I know you have needs. I know you have wants. All right. I know there are necessities. Bills have to be paid. I understand that. All right. And that's the essence of you paying yourself salary. Second question: what are the practical ways to automate your money? Well, you need applications for you to automate your money. You just really need applications rather. Sometimes you can go to your bank for them to automate it. If you want to open an account, for example, there's a place you fill, and there's a column that will say, do you want to automate XYZ percentage to, you know, from this particular, from your current account, for example, to your savings account. I have a current account and I also have a savings account. So for my current account, which is my salary account, automatically money is going into my savings account because I automated it. So you need applications for this, and I really do not know any applications for this because I use my bank to automate my savings, to automate my money. So you might want to visit your bank for you to do that, from your current account to your savings account. And of course, you must, for people that don't have a current and savings account, or you just have a savings account, you might want to have two different accounts, one for your spending and one for your saving. So yeah, I don't know if anybody has any question in the house. Any other question, I would be excited to, take it.
If you would want to speak, as of typing your question, you can raise your hand so you're muted and you can speak. Remember, asking question will bring clarity, and clarity will ensure actionable items, and actionable plans or items would bring the visible success, and visible success will bring happiness and can be repeated over and over and over again. So please do all to ask your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand if you want to. I do not believe we are joining this session and we don't have questions to ask. I can see one of our speaker was on the call as well. One of our previous speaker, Omotolani, she was on the call. Yes, she's even still on the call. So I don't know who has noticed that most of the people that have spoken on finance have been ladies. I've had 3 women speak on finance. Okay. So someone said, any other question? Any other question? Any other question?
Okay, Omotalani is raising her hand.
Oh, all right, man. Please go ahead, man. Let me unmute you. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, man.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Good evening. Good evening, Tabitha. Well
Good
done. That was
evening.
a
Thank
very
you.
amazing
Thank you.
session. Thank you. So I just add some contributions to make, from my experience as an accountant and some of the mistakes I've seen small businesses make. So one of the, major mistakes that small businesses make is not to understand the difference between revenue and profit. So because you are selling so much does not mean that you are making profit. Your business
Profit.
can actually be running at a loss for months and you will not know
Mm.
because you are
Mm.
not keeping proper books of accounts. So
Mm.
it's very important that your revenue, what you are making, you might be selling so much and be making so much money and still be running at a
Yeah.
loss. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's very important that at the end of every month, you may not have what's it called? You may not have a you may not have a beautiful accounting platform. You can even use Excel. Just
Mm.
make sure that you're deducting your cost of sales
Mm.
from your revenue every
Present.
month
Yeah.
so you can arrive at your profit, so you can know where your business position is
It's
actually
starting.
at, so you are not assuming that because you have high turnover then
Mm.
you are making profit. You may actually
Profit.
have had friends that are into business and they didn't know they were running at a loss for
Mm.
months until they did their book of accounts. So that's quite important. And secondly, your status of registration. At some
Mm.
point, you may need to upgrade from being a small business,
Yeah.
from registering as what's it called, as
Business
a
name.
business name to a
A limited.
limited,
Yeah.
a PLC, because I've seen that some certain organizations, maybe oil and gas companies like Chevron, Shell, or even UPS, MTN, they will not work with you if you have a business
Mm-hmm.
name. They will not
Yeah.
work with, they will not give you contracts. They will not ensure you must be a PLC or a limited. You must, so it's very important that at some point you may have started as a small business or registered as a business name, but as your business progresses, you may need to update your registration status, and
Yeah.
make sure that you file taxes, all your
Mm-hmm.
taxes that you are meant to file. Even if you don't understand, you can reach out to somebody that's an accountant, let them help you. So ensure that you file all your taxes and you are up to date, because all those organizations, they will ask you for your tax clearance,
Yeah.
they will ask you for references. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very important that you keep tab. Like Tabitha said, keep records as a business owner. It's not when LRS or FRS will come for tax audit, you'll not be running helter skelter.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Lagos State is trying to expand the tax net.
Yeah.
So you have to be sure that even as a small business, you are filing your, even if it's a new return, make sure that your taxes and your books, they are in
In
place.
fact,
And
yeah.
like another thing she said, don't mix your personal finance with your business. But apart from a finance point of view, for the purpose of taxation and accounting is very important, because the tax person, when they come for their audit, you may think that your business is small now, but as your business grows, you begin to attract Lagos State or any other state that your business is registered under. For the purpose of taxation, please don't mix it up. If you loan your business, like she said, in your books, treat it as a loan, even though it's coming from you, so that it will be tax exempt and you will not be taxed for. They will add back all those things to your to your revenue and then tax it. So you have to be very careful, and please make sure that you do your accounting. This is very key. You don't have to be professional. You can get an accountant, even if it's an accountant that just finished school or that just finished ICANN. They can help you. Honestly, they can help you to do something. So it's
Mm.
very important. Thank you. Thank you, sir,
Thank you
for the
so much,
Thank you.
opportunity
sis.
to share. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
everything she
Thank
said is very, very, very important. Referencing, taxation, business registration name, all of this. I didn't know I was supposed to dwell on that, but they are very, very important, because even at the point of you trying to, open a business account, you cannot skip all of this documentation, right? Many times I have about 10 business account pending on my desk because of incomplete documentation, and most of them is tax, right? Many of them do not have their business registered under tax, and they don't have a tax identification number. Many of them they do, but it is not validated. And many of them they have business name, say for example a real estate business trying to open an account, and his business name you have, nobody's going to open an account for you, all right? Because these are things that CBN will actually check, and can also put any bank that's going to open an account for you, in hot soup. So these are things that you also have to consider as a business owner. Ensure that your books are up to date. Ensure that your balance sheet is balanced. Ensure that your income is more than your expenditure. Ensure that you are earning more than you are spending, and ensure that you are saving more than you are spending. Ensure that you are also investing, and ensure that you are investing in knowledge for you to also understand what to invest in. All right, don't just go and put your money in a market that you do not understand. Like I said earlier, if you have to like get someone to like put you through at a token, at a cost, by all means please go ahead and pay, because at the end of the day you don't want to lose money. So thank you so much for having me, sir. It was really nice to be on the call tonight. Thank you, sir.
thank you very much, Ma. Can we clap for our speaker for tonight? Can we say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you? Just like I said earlier, some of the things she taught here, she had taught it at a paid session. So don't worry, but you're leveraging your pastor's connect. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Can we just say thank you very much? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Knowledge and wisdom should be appreciated. And there's one thing I'm going to say. What I demand, or what I desire, is that you put to action what you've learned. Some of you might say, this is similar to what we've learned before. Let me ask you a question. Is similar? Did you do it? one of the pillars to financial literacy, as I've been reading and been learning, is relearning, unlearning financial knowledge. You can never get enough. It's hard for me. I'm someone that I pride myself in remembering things I've read. So sometimes I read something, I sit again and be like, no, I know it. But I realized that the strength of this, the impact of information is when it's in your subconscious. And when it's in your subconscious, you tend to act on it. And when you tend to act on it, you begin to see the results that come from taking that action. And that's what sets you apart. There are over 30 people on this call. What will set everyone apart is those who take action and those who don't. You can either mark register and say, oh, I was at the wisdom class because Pastor Mide or Mr. Mide or Coach Rumi, whatever name or Mide, he said I should join. Or you rather say, oh, I've learned this, I'm going to put at least one of these into action and I'll see progress. Next week is going to be this month of May. We're going to have wisdom class back to back. From June it will change. A wisdom class will be twice a month, so it will be first Monday of the month and then last Monday of the month. But like I said, a paid session is coming soon, where I will be bringing together people who live what they are teaching in the 5 different areas, like I mentioned: health, finance, relationship, career, business, and your finance as well. Yeah, I mentioned health, finance, career, business, relationship. Did I miss anyone? No, I don't think I missed anyone. So in these 5 areas, it's going to be a paid session where we're going to have 2 to 3 physical sessions. That is going to be a whole day, like 6 to 8 hour sessions with some of these speakers. You'll be fed breakfast and lunch, but it's going to be paid. We're going to have like 6 to 7 virtual sessions, and then we're going to have 2 to 3 physical sessions. We will be complete, 360-degree individual, 100%. I'm still waiting on the Lord to give me direction on that name, a complete person. I've seen people who Jesus lived a perfect life in all areas. He didn't lack financially. He was never sick. He had good relationship with people, but not with the Pharisees and the Sadducees. But he showed us a template, and I believe strongly that we also can. All right. Until I see you next week, Monday. For some of you, if you notice, I made a promise to people at Erupt last year, 2024. It would surprise you. It took me 8 to 9 months before I started doing it. I'd said one of the things I said what I was going to do was to start putting out content as regards personal career growth, personal transformation, and also spiritual growth. It took me that number of months, but you know what? I started, and this is me telling you on the call. Even if it will take long, even if it will be short, just start. And as you start, you begin to see areas where you can get better on. Break the fear of taking the first step, because once you take the first step, the journey is already closer to you. Good night, everyone. God bless you. And do also follow me on Instagram, Olumide or Mide Moses. God bless you. Good night.